Hello my gorgeous people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caroline, and if it's the first time stopping by, you are definitely welcome to my channel. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to leave some comments below. Be sure to turn on the notification so that you don't miss out on my next video. In today's video, I am going to talk about the reason why simple Nikki was never honest about her marriage, her divorce. I don't think that maybe she was going to be honest, looking at the way a lot of African ladies, the way they reacted, because like a lot of them, they were making video concerning her divorce, because you have to understand that some people, I think for us, I'll just say for us African, most of the time we believe that these people were like in interracial relationship. They're the ones who are like, it's like, I feel as if they're the ones who are being like put on a platform whereby when you see like when they're sharing their video or when they're sharing their kids on social media, you believe as if maybe everything that happens in their marriage is very perfect. You have to understand that even then they're human beings, And then back to the point, looking at Nikki's marriage, I remember one time I came across her channel. I did not know her, but I remember one time, I don't know if it was last year or last year, I came across her channel. The first thing, because normally for myself, I'm one person when I come across somebody's channel, I look at the content, and then I look at the things, because most of the time when I come across somebody's channel, I like something that will motivate me, that talks about life, I'm not too much into things like those people who like pretend to have like this fantasy marriage, like faking marriage, so when I came across their channel, I could see that clearly Nikki she wasn't like happy in the marriage. You could see as if the man is like he was being the boss, like controlling everything, so it's just like Nikki, I felt as if Nikki, she's like, she was just like in a marriage whereby she was like being forced. I don't think that maybe her parent forced her, because you cannot force a grown-up child, a grown-up lady, sorry to say so, but I could see that, the man, it's like he was not respecting her enough, because back in Africa, we don't believe in that, in the manner that the man was treating her, because like most of the time, the lady is the one was like organizing, making like this fantasy, romantic, every time party, fixing everything, decorating the house, and then in return, you could see that there's nothing that she was getting, even if it was going to be me, I was going to be bothered, every time, it's like I'm showering my husband with love, then in return I don't get the same thing, Then on the other side, the thing that just distracted me a lot, you could see that Nikki was like always with her husband's mother and with her in-laws to her husband's side, then it's like, well, it was like bothering me, because I know that back in Africa, when you get married, your families, most especially your family, you as the lady, they're supposed to be more involved in your marriage, your siblings, but you could see clearly that in her situation, just like it was her and her kids, and then the husband's mother and the father, they're the ones who were just like into those kids' life, and that the people were like always going to her house. You could see that, because most of the time, like back in Africa, I don't think that maybe she got the right blessing from her mother and her father, because if her father and her mother were happily for her to be married to that man, they could be coming there, because something just rubbed them the wrong way, towards that man, because when you see an African parent, for example, right now I'm not married. Even if I get married, when I see, just like for example, when we are in a relationship, because normally in Africa, you have to make like negotiation, before you get married, you have to pay like dowry, those are the things that most of the time, like in my culture, they observe, if the man is going to treat you good, and then if he cannot afford to pay like dowry, normally in my country, you are not accepted to take that lady to your house, because in my country, you can't live with a man, without being married, but I hate that in Kenya, I'm not from Kenya. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but I just heard some rumors saying that in Kenya you can live with your boyfriend, it's like you can, I think they do something like cohabitate, something like that, you can live with your husband without being married, or your boyfriend without being married. But in my country, you can't do such kind of things, only for those stubborn one who want to to live with their boyfriend, breaking their parents' rules. You know, they're the ones who can do such kind of a thing, you know. Because I remember even in the situation for Rachel, you know, that one, even here, she just wasted many years living with a guy, you know. And then it's like she was making those vision board, you know. I don't understand, because for me, I don't know. How can you make a vision board? Because you can make, you know, even on her vision board, you could see clearly, you know, she was not even dreaming to say that, oh, I dreamed that maybe I should get an African man who's educated, an African man who'll give me a son or a boy, you know. Her vision board, it was just showing a white man who looks like a young boy, you know. That's when you see that she was just being desperate to be just with a white man, you know. Nothing wrong with that, you know, but sometimes, you know, you can't just make a vision board whereby you just see white people in your eyes, you know. A vision board, you know, for me, I don't think that I can make a vision board, you know, when I don't know which man is going to marry me, because I think that everything, you know, it comes to God. You know, God is the one who blesses us all, you know, who gives us some good men, you know, because right now I'm not married. I don't know the man who's going to marry me, if he's going to be a white man or if he's going to be a black man, you know. So I cannot judge, you know, and say that maybe black people are the ones who are wrong or white people are the ones who are wrong, you know, because you can find that there are some white people who are very good, and then there are some black people who are very good. So it's one and the same thing, you know. So this vision board, that's some other YouTuber that are making. I don't see a reason whereby you can make a vision board. You see clearly that you are living in somebody's house, you know. The men, even if they ask him about marriage, he's not even serious to answer the question, because that man, you know, he was rubbing me the wrong way when Rachel was living with that guy, you know. You could see that, you know, they were not even a match, because the guy was just like into car, this sport car, you know. He wasn't even into her. Then her, she was just busy making this decoration, you know, these romantic things, you know. Don't waste your time, sister. She's a very smart lady, but it's just that sometimes, you know, as human beings, we make some mistake, you know. We waste our time with people, with men who are not going to be there for us, with men who are not going to marry us. So it's the same thing with Nikki, you know. You could see clearly, I think she was supposed to what? With the first child that she got with that man, that's where she was just going to see the red flag, you know. But she went on and had a child, you know. It's just like in my situation. For me, I cannot continue having kids with a man whereby I know that my parents, they cannot be able to come to my place. That shows a red flag, you know. If your mother or your father is not happy to come to where you are getting married, or to your place, even if you're married, just know that something is wrong. Just know that things will never be right. Your mother and your father, they are the people who brought you into this world. Your mother and your father, they are the people who are supposed to, you know, to be coming there to your house every time they come and see their grandkids, all those things. But you could see even in Nikki's situation, you could see that her father and her mother, they were not always like involved, like going there to her house, you know, with that man of hers. You could see that maybe they were not interested with that man, you know, because some other African men, let me tell you, some African parents, they are very smart. If they see that the man, he's not good for their daughter, just know that you can try your level best to do what, they will never come there. So even me, when I just observed, I saw that Nikki's father and her siblings and her mother, they knew something was wrong with that marriage. That's the reason why you could see that they could not even go there. So for some of you who are bashing her, if you could have given her that opportunity, you know, to speak up, maybe she was just going to tell us the truth, so that, you know, even us, we should our eyes should be open up, so that next time when we get married, we're going to learn something. But instead, what did they do? They started bashing her. Oh, Nikki cheated on Jamie cheated on Nikki, you know, because, you know, some other African, when they hear that another African lady like them is going through divorce, they celebrate. Instead of feeling pity for another person, they celebrate, they rejoice, you know. There's nothing about rejoicing about somebody who's getting divorced, you know. But for me, you know, I would have loved, you know, if like her father, you know, her mother, her siblings, if they were more involved, you know. That's something I like, you know. Even if the man is going to marry me, that's something that I like, because for me, you know, I'm very close, like my family like this, you know. We are not from like broken family. Like my mother and my father, you know, they were married for many years. That's something that I would love, you know. I used to see even back at home, you know, originally I'm from Namibia, you know. I used to see even my mother's sister, my aunt, you know, every time, you know, they will come, you know. It's like, that's something that is needed, you know, not a situation whereby I get married. When I get married, it's just me and my husband's side, my sister, my brothers, they cannot come to where I'm married. What's that? You know, we don't believe that in Africa, you know. We believe that once when you get married, your family, your entire extended family, they will come. That's what I like. You will just hear tomorrow, maybe your aunt will call you, I'm coming to your house. Next time, maybe your uncle will call you, I'm coming to your house, Pedro Lynn. That's what I like. Not marriage whereby when you get married, you'll be just focusing on the men's side. To me, that's not marriage. So for some of you who don't wait for people to give you the true story and start judging, you see, if you could have what? Be patient with Nikki. Maybe she was going to be open to us. She was going to enlighten us, with the things that happened, So even those people who are like into this interracial relationship, they were going to learn something, not a situation where, oh, Nikki cheated on what? There's no problem even if she cheated on him. What's the problem? Because you could see that she was doing too much work. That man, he was not doing anything. I did not see any surprise that guy did for Nikki. You could see that Nikki, she's what? Right now, when that man just disappeared from her life, she brought her confidence together. Now she can even be what? Her confident, it came. Now I'm happy for Nikki, that Nikki now she's becoming successful by herself. Her family, they're coming to her. Her father, I'm sure even her father and her mother, they're happy wherever they are because their daughter now, she has been released. Because that time it's just like I felt as if Nikki was just kept into a cage whereby her family member, they could not even come and come and see her. But now since this divorce, she has came out from the cage. So for some of you who are so much into marriage without doing some research, it's up to you. So see you guys in my next video and hope you're going to take good care of yourself. So bye bye, my lovely people. Bye.